I just want to get your view on Arsenal. You saw the game last night, the Arsenal game.
I was there.
Before we talk about what you think of Arsenal so far this season and under Mikel Arteta, etc., I just want to get your view. We started the show talking about the two incidents that could have been penalties. Neither were given, the Saka one and, of course, the handball. Yeah. Let's start with the handball one first. What did you make of that?
If you, according to the law, the referee has whistled and Gabriel picks up the ball with his hand. So according to the law, if the referee doesn't use common sense and just use it to the law, it's a penalty.
You hear that, common sense?
Yeah, but...
I think the referee used common sense because of the stage that it's at.
Is he allowed to use common sense?
Well, I think I hope he used common sense in that game because that's what it... I think so, yes.
Can I just
he
say,
should.
Phil, we're having this argument.
No,
10 minutes ago, we're having this argument, and I'm saying to him that, like, he's not gaining no advantage, Gabriel. You know, if Bayern Munich were pressing and they were 10 metres away, then you'd be like, all right, he saw them come in, hand on the ball to start again. But he's not even looking at where they are. They're so far away. That's where you use common sense and be like, he's been a bit daft and he's not gained no advantage. It's not a problem.
I think that's irrelevant, whether or not you gain an advantage. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty. Where I agree with you, and both of you, that it should be common sense. But I think as soon as you allow common sense to enter the game for one decision, every single weekend we're going to have, well, hold on, common sense says he shouldn't have been sent off. Common sense, and then you open up a can of worms where if you just follow the letter of the law for every single game, then you don't have that problem.
That penalty was given yesterday. You was at the stadium.
Yes.
Imagine what the atmosphere would have been like if that was given.
First of all, people wouldn't have understood because honestly, even live, I didn't really understand what happened. I saw Tuchel on the sideline going crazy, but I didn't really understand why. And then later on, I saw it on social media, and the decision is, I think it's the right decision at the stage that it's at.
What about the other one where Saka launched himself at Manuel Neuer? What do you make of that?
Look, he's going at such a speed at that moment of the game that any sort of movement going towards him would put him down. I do believe Neuer makes a movement towards him. He does hang his leg a little bit longer than he should.
Yeah.
Again, it can be given. It's one of those.
Would you give it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably biased.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of penalties that have been given like that, and everyone will be like, "Oh, it's a clever play. He's been very clever getting that penalty." Elliott on the weekend against Manchester United, when you look back at the replays, Wan-Bissaka doesn't even touch him.
Yeah.
But it's given, it goes to VAR.
They keep
it.
So nuts, isn't it?
That it's given.
He's given, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nuts, though, right?
Yesterday could have been given because he probably should have. He's running at pace.
I know, but
why would he fall? There's no reason.
That's
the goal
the question
is empty.
we asked. But do you not think that Saka could have avoided Manuel Neuer?
I don't think so. At that speed,
you don't think so?
You
he's
know
diving,
yourself.
yeah.
You're running after
him.
30-meter sprint. You can't stop and avoid someone and run around.
I think as well, when they slow it down for things like that penalty, it's going to look different. At full speed, it's like, gets in front of him, Neuer's leg comes out, and maybe Saka's clever as well to like, okay, keep my leg in a bit as well. I know these are given nowadays. 10 years ago, it's not a penalty. Nowadays, that's a penalty.
Let me ask you, Dermot Gallagher, right? Dermot Gallagher, Premier League referee. He used an example once when I was questioning whether or not something should have been a foul. He used an example. I'll use it to you. And I thought it was a brilliant way of explaining whether or not things are penalties. He said, and he'll say it in this scenario, if Manuel Neuer would have been Saka's 8-month-old baby, would he have been able to avoid contact with him? Right? Now, if the answer is yes, that means he decided to make contact with Neuer, right? If there's no way he could have got out of the way, then he would have made contact with his 8-month-old. But so do you think?
But what about Neuer? Neuer did go and make contact with
his
Saka.
leg was out, right?
He dangles it after the ball is out. Huh? He still goes towards Saka. So there is a
I'm
shout.
fighting a losing battle, aren't I? Ex-Arsenal player in the room. What did you make of the game? Was it a fair result? Were Arsenal lucky to hang on in there? They've got it all to do, right, in the return leg? Yeah,
I think both teams. It's gonna be a very tough game for Arsenal as well at Munich, in front of their fans. I thought Bayern didn't do great at the beginning, and were clinical. And I think this is what this Bayern Munich side can do. It can really they punish you. We didn't see much of them, and they scored 2 goals out of really nothing. Mistake, and another one half mistake as well. And you just think these type of teams can really punish you. I thought Arsenal had the intentions, the right intentions that they've shown this season, really wanting to control the game, the pace of the game. Everyone, when it's time to defend, everyone really wants to defend. And I love this about this Arsenal side, where there is no, the team is not, broken in two. Everyone wants to defend together, and if they have to defend within 2 cuts of grass, they do it, and everyone is ready to do the job. And I think that's amazing to really feel, because you need everyone on board. If one of them is not doing the job, you get found out.
You see, when I watched the recent game against Manchester City, I did, as a neutral, I wanted to see goals, attacking, but I understood why he did it, Arteta, and what he showed was we can play a different way. I might have learned a lot of Pep, but I've got my own way.
Yeah,
I can play like that, and that you might need to play like that to win the Champions League.
Sometimes you need to adapt as well. The one way is not only, of course, we all want to play nice football, yes. And you see, and we all want to control the game and be in the last third of the other team. I've watched the game against Luton, and most of the game they wanted to control the game and be high up the pitch and really suffocate the other team, so that at one point, they break them down. But sometimes that Arsenal side is ready to defend in the last third, and everyone behind the ball and not engage. And sometimes not engaging, you don't create the space behind. So you just stay in your position. Yeah. You don't go out of your position. And this, there is no lines of passes. And I think that Arsenal side, they're ready to do this.
Okay. Do you think Arsenal will get top 4 this season? I'm joking. We've got you till 5:30. We've got lots to talk to you about.
He doesn't like Arsenal, by the way. No. He's a Manchester United fan.
I can feel
Manchester United.
Hold on. Let me just say this now. Even though Philippe is in here, out of the top 3 sides, I'm desperate for Arsenal to win the league. I can't have Man City or Liverpool winning it. So I really do hope that Arsenal go on and win it. I hope none of you win it, but I hope out of the 3. When we come back, because you two, of course, know each other from your days at Villa. So, Philippe, I'd like all the inside knowledge on what he
the bad
was like.
stuff.
Yeah, that's the nice way to say it. I want all the bad stuff on he. When we come back, we are honoured that we've got Philippe Senderos with us in the studio, and of course I've got Gabby alongside. Make sure you stay with us. Great drive time coming your way live on talkSPORT.
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.